There but for the grace of God go I. Words we have forgotten, words we do not hear anymore. We have decided to attend the pity party, and we are always the guest of honor. The me generation has turned into the it's always about me generation, and many have decided to stop seeing the pain of others, perhaps because there is so much of it to see these days. People grow callous towards what they see every day, and do not be fooled here. The media knows full well this truth. The more pain and suffering visible, the less we care. I would ask you to check your memory here. When was the last time you saw an infomercial or even a regular commercial on your television for request for assistance to a particular group? Been a while, hasn't it? So much for the whales, the polar bears, the snow leopards, people starving in other countries, children's funds, nearly all invisible these days. Fixate the masses' attention on what you want them to see, bombard them not daily, but hourly with it, and you have the makings of apathy. Too much of a good thing turns bad. Too much of a bad thing does not make it worse. It creates apathy and begins to feed the I've got mine, you get yours mentality. In a very short time indeed, we have gone from love thy neighbor to absolutely no fear whatsoever of casting the first stone. The born-again believer is quite aware that the majority of the world has gone insane, that rules are being laid upon us only for the benefit of those who like to call themselves the ruling class, that evil men are in control of nearly all of the planet. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. There are still, of course, some who are continuing to do all they can for those in need, whether it be materialistically or spiritually, but the majority of mankind decided to leave the rest of mankind behind when the masks were introduced. And when vaccinations are the only way to move about freely, to use the term very loosely, even more will be left to fend for themselves. Selfishness and pride are brothers, perhaps the closest brothers there are, for selfishness places itself above all there is, and pride reinforces that action with thoughts of worth and value above its peers. I have heard Proverbs 16:18 misinterpreted so many times I have lost count. Pride goes before destruction, my friends, not a fall, but destruction. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. From whence came this iniquity? We may never know, but it is quite easy to see the total effects of it today. Pride and apathy has become the way of mankind. Many of those who may think in their own wording, there but for the grace of God go I, do nothing more with that thought today. There is little desire to assist, much less action towards those in need. Therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Many will simply walk on. Oh, they may feel bad about that person's tribulations, but they have mistaken their feelings for action. They have regarded, quite mistakenly, their inaction as righteousness. I am reminded again of an old line from a movie. We see sin on every corner and do nothing about it. But in this scenario, we see pain and suffering. We see fires, earthquakes, floods, and we see them so often that we forget the thousands, perhaps millions today, that have lost all they had. And then we change the channel. Perhaps there are just too many suffering to give to any one cause today. Perhaps hearts grow colder as troubles increase, unless the trouble are upon themselves. I will leave you with this interesting fact, which I believe the Holy Spirit used to prompt me to write this particular letter today, and how it fits perfectly with what he wants you to contemplate. Personal savings around the planet have increased dramatically since the lockdowns began, while charitable giving is at its lowest point it has ever been. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Think about that.